Hey, faketohma here, and I believe a little while ago I said I was going to do tips on writing from I'm not a spectacular writer. I never claimed to be, but sorry, opening uh, Home Alone collection Blu-ray, $20 at Walmart, not bad for two movies. Anyway, tips on writing. Writing in general, I had a talk with a friend of mine who asked, what do you think about writing? Especially about writing characters? And we'll do characters first. Well, and he had a scene where this woman was talking to this child, and it was in a house, and she said, and he described her as the long-haired woman. I said, that's good. That's perfect. Let me just tell you, that's perfect. Description is always best. I mean, it's not always best, but it's a good start when you're introducing a character and you don't want to introduce them first by name, like his name was blah 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 blah, and you just want to guide the reader into this character because sometimes if you give a vague description of a character, it kind of pulls it in. Then they're like, who is this? And then you can tell the name. Um, let's see. What did I say in my last video that my computer died on? As far as how to write the description about characters. Well, there are two ways you can do it. One, you could write, have the character enter. Now, this only works, in my opinion, if you're having your main character look at another character and said, I encountered Miss Thomas. She was a stately woman dressed in 50s style clothing, and she had a blah 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 blah. She had her silver hair dressed up in a bun, and wore a multitude of jewelry on her neck, wrists and fingers, or something like that. You could do it that way. I think in my opinion, it only works if you're viewing. That way, only works if you're doing it for third person, from a view of another character. You can do it from, second person. That's a second person, I think. Oh, God, I don't even know my persons. A second person point of view. The third person point of view is, well, yourself. I'm sorry, a writer, and I don't know my point of views. That's really bad. Third person point of view would be you writing what the characters are, writing. Like, you as in having the character your reader look down on these characters and imagine what they look like. You're describing them. So maybe you could say, like he said, the woman had long hair. Maybe she has long black hair, and you describe her. Maybe it's like, wait, here's the way I do it. I introduce the character, but I don't give all the description like in a paragraph, like you would if you were from a second person point of view, and the other character's looking at another character. If this character is like moving about, which even if your character is sitting still, they're still doing an action. So you could say, she brushed her fingers through her long black hair, and she folded her long legs, and the nail polish, shined off something like that. That's really simple to do. That, in my opinion, is not hard. Uh, could Like I said, I don't think it's the second person point of view would be a good thing. Some people I have seen authors write, that paragraph thing, but in my experience, it's mostly their main character checking out this other character, seeing them, and it's not entirely from the author's point of view through writing their main character, not through their main character, but down upon their main character. That's not the case. So that's how my suggestions of how you might write a character. My next segment, I'm sorry if I'm like a little bit spacey and I ramble, uh, but that's my suggestions. Next, description in general.